Alright, so my question is, if horoscopes or birth charts are demonic, why are they so accurate? Well, first of all, I think we started off on a false premise here because somebody is afraid of the truth, okay? This is what it says in the book of Enoch, secret book of Enoch, which describes the creating of our realm. And what do we see here? Zodiac signs, the 12 zodiac signs, bruh. I saw in the ninth heaven, which is called in Hebrew Kuchavim, where are the heavenly homes of the 12 signs of the zodiac. Okay, the ninth heaven is like super high, and if you didn't know, a lot of these older scrolls and scriptures are not referring to just one heavenly realm, but multiple. There might be 10, and they're all infinite. It seems like they're all extremely big. They might be ever expanding like space. It might be space itself. All I know is these zodiac signs are obviously part of the creation. This isn't a fan fiction, okay? These things are part of our reality. The reality that was made by the Creator. Now check this out. I'm like, okay, why is my birth chart so accurate? Okay, so in the past I would avoid such things as horoscopes and birth charts and stuff because I would say, or I think, well, this isn't Christian, this is demonic, this is witchcraft, whatever, right? Whatever they throw at you, it's ignorant. It's ignorance, guys. So here's what it says. It's an intricate mirror. I would describe it as such. It is an intricate mirror. It gets you put your exact birth time, your location. It goes through all of these archetypes that are part of you, and it describes you very well. I was shocked, like utterly shocked at how accurate and how relevant these things are to your life path, to your temperament, to your interests. I mean, it's like I could know absolutely nothing about somebody, just starting to talk to them, take a look at their chart and say, wow. And say, wow, this might be my kind of person, or say, wow, I should stay the hell away from them. And that's not like, it's funny because you can actually test it. You can test and see if it's actually accurate. And so far I'm 3 for 3, okay? So far I've been 3 for 3 using this information that otherwise would be to an ordinary Christian demonic, right? But you have to understand, like, the creation that God made, especially the heavens, if you're calling the heavens hell, you're calling good evil. You're calling great awful. Woe to those who call good evil and evil good, right? Well, God hates ignorance, for one. If you understood that He was all-knowing, then why are you celebrating your ignorance of labeling good things bad without even testing them or trying them first? Like, someone who tried to do something and it didn't work out for them will have more wisdom than the person who's never tried it. And like if it's a drug, right, or if it's something really unhealthy, or a behavior that's really unhealthy, and it's repeated over and over, it's an addiction. Well, the person who's gone through it is gonna know that this is toxic, and I shouldn't have done that, and I'm going to teach the rest of these people why they shouldn't do it. But someone who just goes through life and doesn't experience things and just makes up their own beliefs based off of what they've been told is not gonna have the wisdom that someone that has lived through things will have. Someone who's truly living their life, not just witnessing and obeying everything they're told. Like, it's important to be a witness, but also it's important to experience things, which also plays deeply into who I am. I'm not going to go into too many details. I don't want to give random strangers on the internet my everything to do with me, but I'll put it like this: like, I'm obviously a warrior, and I have a side that I really care about people, and that's it. Figure it out if you want to, and try to figure it out. Astrologers believe the accuracy of birth charts stems from the mathematical precision of the cosmos at your exact moment of birth, right? And from a psychological perspective, it provides a structured framework that sparks self-reflection. So it's a tool. It helps you sense your traits or your behaviors. It's beautiful. It really is. And one thing that I think it almost reinforces the fact that we have a creator who put these complexities into us, because it's like, okay, sure, if we were not the only inhabited planet, my question is, why do these planets, these stars, and these lights in the sky have effects on us in such a way? Like, why is it that the things in the heavens affect us who live on Earth in such a way, right? I've heard the term "as above, so below," it's repeated by so many people, right? And it's like, you know what? I'm starting to see what it means in real time, because it's one thing to hear it and what they mean by it, or it's usually something religious, but I'm starting to see it as something you actually experience when you're paying attention to things going on in the sky and how those things affect your life, and understanding, well, if God is the Most High, He has designed this and it's all part of the plan. It honestly is very comforting, as opposed to someone who thinks it's all chaos and spinning out of control. Honestly, like, my belief in space is being challenged, or my disbelief, because it's starting to feel more like these things in the sky must be more local, or they at least have an effect like they are. Just from my recent and life experiences, like in the past few years, realizing that somebody was behaving a certain way, not only because of their traumatic childhood or their past relationships, but because they have a certain affinity to certain luminaries in the sky or in the heavens. That is why they were so toxic. Actually makes a lot of sense. Or the reason why they ran back to something else, for example. The reason why somebody is super, super into you as well, or they're just so caring and loving, it explains so much, and it doesn't take anything away from that individual, because that individual is beautiful and created in the image of God and the likeness thereof. And God added all these beautiful quirks to that person. You can say, oh, we're all flawed, we're all sinners. Yeah, I've heard that my whole life. I know that. That's why it's important. There is a practical need for a practical thing for getting rid of the evil in your body and in your life. It's always practical. It's always a great thing. Jesus taught. I love Jesus. I follow him. And I can't help but notice the Father has really, really put so much thought into his creation. It's so much that I almost feel for certain that he does not want us to be tortured or experience eternal torture in any kind of way, shape, or form. And we don't have to bow down to some tyrannical government or some hypocritical people and do a weird ritual to be rescued from eternal torment. Okay? It's really as simple as what Jesus said: love your neighbor as yourself. Love the Lord thy God. Love the Creator, love your friends, make friends, and love yourself too. Learn to love yourself. And I think the horoscope or the birth chart has kind of given me more insight into who I am and helped me appreciate who I am. Because Christianity teaches us to kind of self-abandon. The self-abandonment. Here's the thing about self-abandonment. As somebody who's done it multiple times in multiple ways, it's destructive. Self-abandonment is basically self-betrayal. Betraying yourself for others, or just to cater to the needs of someone who isn't quite interested or caring about your needs, is a massive mistake. It is a strategical loss. It's an automatic L. It's like playing a game of chess with your life on the line and purposely blundering. One thing I can't deny is there are opposing forces. There are forces of death, destructions, death cults, if you will, on this planet. But there are also good-hearted, strong-willed people, and they've been taught to abandon themselves. And when they abandon themselves, they lose their ability to fight evil. The original Our Father prayer is actually strengthen us against evil, not deliver us from it. Strengthen us against evil. We're supposed to stand firm and defend our territory and our land, but we've abandoned ourselves and allowed the wicked to take and take and take and take and take. It's like, when's it gonna give? What's it gonna take for you guys and everyone else to rise up and stand for our freedoms and our love and our God-given rights that have been infringed and impeded upon and are still being impeded upon as I speak? When are we going to fight the system? Like, I don't think it matters what your belief is. Even if you question reality itself or think it's a simulation, one thing I can totally find in anybody just about is they know there's something wrong with the system. And unless they're a part of it, the system, and they're benefiting from it in some huge way, they will agree with me. If they have a heart for the people, they will tell me, yeah, the system's the problem. You know, man and woman shouldn't be divided. We should be together. We should be starting families. But the system has had us at odds. You know, men and women have been fighting each other, and just going everywhere to and fro like vagabonds, or fighting and deceiving each other and hurting each other. The man and the woman need to come together and procreate. Otherwise, if there's no creating being done, the destroying is going to destroy everything. If there's no defending being done, the ones impeding and raiding us and taking all of our land, our resources, our money, and our freedom, and ultimately our power and just our ability to live, they're going to win, and it's going to be a horrible outcome unless we rise up and fight for the right cause. And how does this tie in to what I'm saying with birth charts? Well, It's pretty simple. Spiritual people are kind of identified in their birth charts, and there is a huge thing going on right now. There is 4 planets in alignment at this very moment, and the 4 planets in alignment, to me, it means that this is a huge open door and a huge place, a huge portal for change. And one of my biggest intention, even more than finding, where I belong, is, well, to overthrow the wickedness and sweep it out of the world somehow, some way, to remove the oppression from the world. For the people who see what's going on to actually act and fight for their freedom. Certain zodiac signs are more timid, and I happen to be supposedly one of the most timid or avoidant ones. But the funny thing is, God also put a contradiction in me. So I actually want to fight because I care about people. The empathy is my strength, and there is a warrior as well within. And I love Christ because he's a warrior too, and he cared for the people deeply, and I really vibe with that. That's probably one of the highest frequencies, if not the highest, below the Most High, is to just love and fight for what's, should be our freedom, to love each other, to live and prosper, and not to be stalked 24/7, and not to be exploited 24/7. So, like, I'm tired of being oppressed mentally, physically, spiritually, in my love life. All of those things. I say no more oppression. It used to be no mercy for evil. Yeah, still in a sense. Evil can't go around unchecked. Do I believe in eternal conscious torment? Not really. I think God is more merciful. There might be some things that warrant a very long sentence of some torment because of what somebody caused. But at the end of the day, there's a lot of tortured souls already on this plane, and I want to heal and help bring some unity here, bring some people together, and maybe this is part of it. Maybe understanding your own intricacies, if you're an intricate person, can help you in a huge way. Realizing that maybe these planets are more local, and that's why they affect us so much. Maybe you are salt and light, like Jesus said. I think absolutely we are. We are light, we are salt, living in a vessel. You are light. Your eyes are light. Your eyes are lights. They help you receive light. They're light receptors. And they also have color, and they help you perceive. And maybe the eye is like your inner world, and your inner world is connected to heaven. That's been a thing I've been really into lately, considering, like, maybe the heavens are infinite, but we're living in this sort of dome. But maybe we're not in a dome and it is infinite. I don't know. I'm going between the two now. I don't think it's utter chaos either. I don't think there are other, like, humans or aliens. I think it's really just us, and then the angels and God and the spirits of this world, and the spirits, unfortunately we have spirits who torment people and attack people too. But I think they're all serving one purpose. It's all oneness. It's all by design, to make us better people and for the ultimate good. and I'm gonna stand by that. Is I'm gonna stand with the ultimate good in God. And even if you say that I'm just coping and everything's doom and gloom, hey, you're entitled to your opinion. I'm not your enemy. I'm just trying to make sense of this. Like my experiences, no one can take away from them. No one can take me away from my higher power, my higher my God, if you will, my creator. The creation should have a creator. I mean, it doesn't just, I don't really believe in just things appearing out of nowhere. Even if they came from an invisible realm, then that would explain that there's an invisible, creator who created the physical. And I also believe we are spiritual beings in physical bodies, and the heavenlies, their heavenly realms, probably are deeply connected to us because we're all a little piece of it, I believe. And the signs in the sky, the ninth heaven. Let's get back to that, and then I'm gonna cut this off after this. But the ninth heaven, I'm gonna learn more about this. The signs of the zodiac. The 12 signs of the zodiac. Kuchavim. I'm gonna look into Kuchavim, and let you guys know what I find. I love you, and have a great night or a great day wherever you are.